everyone, this is Mario again, coming at you with another movie review. And today I'm reviewing a film that I've heard about a while ago. I've been meaning to watch it. I finally watched it via Netflix last night. And I have to say, I enjoyed the movie. Maybe one day I plan on getting it in my collection. And it deserves the Academy Award nomination that it got for Best Actress. I would say that it should have got a couple more, like for Best Director, Best Actor, probably Best Cinematography or whatever that one is. Now the movie is of course based on a true story. Its title, it's known in some parts of this world as Evil Angels, but here it was released as A Cry in the Dark. The movie stars Meryl Streep and Sam Neill, who play the two main characters. And of course, I should point out that this movie is based on the whole story that is summed up in a couple lines that are actually said in the movie. The dingo took my baby! That's right, it's based on the story of Michael and Lindy Chamberlain, who, when camping out with their children, their two sons and their 9-week-old daughter, Azaria, the baby was taken by a dingo. And of course, we all know that they were eventually charged, and she was found guilty of killing the baby. And of course, eventually, they found more evidence, and they overturned the verdict, and she was set free. Now, the movie, how it's paced, at first, how it goes is it shows the family a little bit before the incident, then it shows the day leading up to the incident, then it shows the incident, which it actually does show a dingo coming out of the tent when she goes over there, but it doesn't, when you see it, it's probably holding something, but it doesn't make clear what it is, so I guess they did that to kind of make you wonder if she actually did kill it and got away with it. But the way the movie's paced, it makes you certain that the dingo did take the baby. And personally, I feel that the dingo probably did take it because A, there are other cases around the same time of a dingo taking a child, and 2, they even point this out in the movie. With the amount of time that Lindy Chamberlain had to have committed this crime, it would have been impossible without at least one person noticing it. And there were like 20 other adults in the area, so there's no way Lindy did it. And it was just scapegoating. And when it came to the trial part of the movie, with how the movie was paced, I mean, it would show bits and pieces of the courtroom trial, then every once in a while cut to like public reaction, people saying she's guilty, people saying she's innocent. This actually reminded me of the Casey Anthony case in a little bit. But of course, the opposite thing is, in this case, the person was innocent, in the Casey Anthony case, the person's guilty, and of course the verdicts are reversed. But it had that same sort of thing, you know, a mother accused of killing her kid. And in this case, of course, the mother, when she was called to testify, she was, I guess you can say, a little aggressive, a little bit. And of course the jurors probably thought that meant she might be hiding something. And also added to the fact that her husband kind of stumbled through his testimony, so maybe he's hiding something. So, whereas in the Casey Anthony trial, no emotions on her face at all in the courtroom except for one small part. And then of course, as you guys all know my feelings on the Casey Anthony trial, the only reason I think she got off was because she had a great attorney, and because the jurors thought that beyond a reasonable doubt means beyond all doubt. Stupid jurors. Yeah, as Wildman is always saying, let's have Dirty Harry have a shot at her. You feel lucky, punk. But anyway, I see a lot of, you know, similarities in how they went on. But with the Casey Anthony case, I don't think we'll ever find out because she's a pathological liar. I know I keep going back. It's just kind of hard not to compare the two. Now, how the movie was set up, it's one of the reasons I feel that Fred, excuse me if I mispronounce his last name, Schepisi, however you pronounce it, should have gotten a Best Director nomination because of how he paced the movie and how he shot all the different angles and stuff. And they did use a real dingo in the movie, by the way, because dingoes are one of the few dogs that can actually be both wild and trained with ease, and it was a beautifully trained dingo. And of course all the actors, besides from the leads, they did pretty good jobs too. And you can really see the media circus that this created in Australia at the time. That's why I say compared to the Casey Anthony trial, it's about the same thing. Because whenever you see the people, they're getting into very heated arguments over, she's guilty, she's innocent. Because I've actually seen those same type of heated arguments over the Casey Anthony thing. Although, personally, when I see someone defending her innocence, I'm like, steal a line from The Miz. Really? You think Casey Anthony's innocent? Really? You looked at the evidence and, oh, this woman must be innocent. I mean, there's no possible reason you could have killed the child, really. But anyway, I'm getting back on topic. Now, Meryl Streep, her performance is beautiful. I mean, she's always a great actress to watch. I mean, and it's no wonder that she has 17 Academy Award nominations with 2 wins. And, of course, she's nominated again this year for The Iron Lady, which I don't know if I'll see this during Oscar reviews or not, but you could not deny she's one of the actresses that gets those Oscar nominations and those 2 wins that deserves it. And this is one of those 17 nominations. And it's the only nomination the movie got in the Academy Awards, which is sad. It got tons of other nominations for acting, like Streep didn't win the Oscar for that year, but she won the Australian Film Institute's Award for Best Best Actress in a Leading Role, which Sam Neill won the Best Actor one from that one, which I think he should have been nominated at least for Best Actor at the Oscars, but I digress. And he got a bunch of other awards there too, like direction, screenplay, and score. And then, of course, Streep also won the New York Film Critics Circle Award for Best Actress. And then, of course, the Cannes Film Festival one. Now, from what I understand, one of the biggest concerns people had originally was that it's American playing an Australian. But I have to say, and people like this, and I will agree, her Australian accent is beautiful. If this was the first time you were to watch Meryl Streep and you were to be told she's not Australian, you'd be like, what? She's not Australian? She sounds just like Steve Irwin. She sounds just as convincing. It's not like one of those accents you listen to like, oh God, why are they using a fake accent? It seems natural. So I'm guessing she went to a dialogue coach. And Sam Neill, his acting, when I watch this movie, as I watch the movie, I'm like, really? They did not nominate this for an Oscar? Really? It's a very good performance, because at the start of the movie, he's a character that's a preacher, that's very religious. I mean, he tries to get people to stop smoking, stop drinking, not eat a lot of fat and stuff. But as the movie and the trial goes, he begins to question his religion, because he's one of those people that's like, everything in the world happens for a reason because God wills it. But as you can tell, his daughter gets taken by a dingo. People think his wife did. He's questioning, is this part of God's plan? And then as it keeps going on, he even begins to question, did my wife really kill our daughter and then set this whole thing up? And then, of course, the media circus in the movie, yet another thing I compared to Casey Anthony. Media circus. I mean, a media helicopter outside their house, and then, of course, people wondering, like, you see it in the trailer where there's one woman just walks up to the 2 grandparents when they have one of the sons, and just like grabs him by the wrist, pulls him back to look at him and go, tell me what happened to you this step. I won't tell anyone. Stuff like that. I mean, if I was a grandparent, I don't care if it was a woman, I would have smacked her upside the freaking head. She didn't get killed, it was a dingo, you idiot. Granted, I'd probably been arrested, but still, cops probably would have figured, he's getting tired of it, he'll let it go. And then, of course, the movie was made, of course, after they found the jacket, so the movie does end showing her innocence and stuff. And it's not mentioned in the movie because it happened afterwards, but they were awarded money. And the sad thing is that Michael and Lindy's marriage did not survive all this. They divorced about 3 years after this movie was released, so it's kind of sad. He remarried and had another child, though, which, another thing I need to mention, during the trial, Lindy was pregnant with their second daughter. And, of course, as you can imagine, when she went to jail, she didn't get to see it, so when see her that much, so when she got out, you can imagine she was happy as can be to see her daughter, finally. And I think I definitely need to mention this. One of the things that was turning the public against her is that people thought her name meant sacrifice in the wilderness, when it actually meant blessed of God. So when you hear, like, the name is sacrifice in the wilderness, and it's a 9-week-old baby. And then, of course, I better mention this thing with the dingo. The reason people thought that a dingo could not have taken the baby was that she weighed about 10 pounds, which, by the way, is how much Odie weighs. So if you look at my dog Odie, same that she weighed. And they didn't think she could carry it. And there was one scene where we showed the people talking about it. This guy has a bucket in his mouth saying, I could carry this for a long time. There's no way that the dingo would be able to. There's a couple things wrong with that argument. One, we humans as apes evolved arms. We evolved arms to carry and lift things. So we'd lift the baby. Dogs are canines. They have no opposable thumbs. They evolve paws that can't carry things. They evolve strong jaw muscles to pick things up and carry them. Like pick up a cub and carry it. Pick up a baby by its head and run off with it. They have a stronger jaw. They probably push down with about the same bite force, but their jaw muscles are stronger to be able to hold stuff longer. So therefore, the dingo would be able to carry up. And they even showed with a doll about the same, in the movie, they even showed a doll about the same size as Azaria, put the head in a dingo's jaw and show that it could have easily held on. And when I saw all that, I'm like, really, they're not using that testimony? Well, that doesn't create reasonable doubt, but then again, I'm looking at it through an American thing. In America, she probably would not have been found guilty. Then again, it wouldn't have been a dingo took my baby. A bear took my baby! Yogi took my baby! Hey, boo-boo, look what we got! I got us a little treat. Yogi, that's a little baby human. Yes, I know, boo! It's time for revenge for all the time the rangers stopped us from taking the picnic baskets! I don't think that's such a good idea, Yogi. You never know what kind of trouble that might cause. Ah, boo-boo, you worry too much, boo-boo. Remember, I'm smarter than the average bear. Shh. Hello, Yogi, you've gone too far. It's the ranger! Psh. Head blown off with a buckshot. Back on topic. The score was done by Bruce Smeaton, which I'm going to see what other scores he's done real quick. Let's see. The Chant of Jimmy Blacksmith, Monkey Grip. Last movie he did was The Missing. It's mostly Australian stuff, so this is probably the only thing of note. But it was a great score. I want to see real quick what other stuff this director has done. He did that movie Roxanne, if that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's that movie with Steve Martin in it, Roxanne. I remember liking that movie. I gotta give that movie a watch. But he did a movie in '94 called IQ, movie that was just last year called The Eye of the Storm, movie from 2003 called It Runs in the Family. So he's done other stuff. This and Roxanne are probably his finest hours. And of course we all know what Meryl Streep and Sam Neill have done. Meryl Streep, you know, highly profiled actress. And of course Sam Neill, you know, everyone knows him from Jurassic Park. Of course In the Mouth of Madness, among others. The supporting actors, we got Bruce Miles, Charles Tingwell, Maury Fields, probably just a bunch of Australian actors. Because this is an Australian production, which I guess is probably why people were like, Meryl Streep, an American actress, really? And that's also why it's called Evil Angels, because it's based on a book that's based on the case. And believe it or not, they're actually doing a fourth inquest now in this case, because the first two inquests are shown in the movie. The first one is when they don't think they did it. Second one is what brought them to the trial. Third one was one where they found that a dingo did take it, and the fourth one, I don't know why they're doing a fourth one. Did they find a body or something? Are they going to try to find a body? If they find a body, they're not going to be able to prove it's hers. I mean, it's not like they have dental records from a baby that's 9 weeks old, and there's not going to be DNA, especially in Australia. There's no the weather wouldn't even get cold enough in Australia. Besides, she was taken in the desert, so any DNA forensic evidence is going to be gone. The only way you'd be able to figure is about the right size. And if you guys are wondering, it's been about 32 years now since this happened, so you can see why I'm wondering why they're doing a third inquest, especially since it's 20 years it's the fourth inquest, especially 20 years after the third inquest, excuse me. Because both Lindy and Michael moved on. Michael, of course, like I said, after the divorce, he already had his master's, if I remember right, and he got married again, had another kid named Zara, who was born in '96, and of course he became a teacher. But one weird thing is that when he was a teacher in New South Wales, he got beat up twice by a man accusing him of murdering his daughter. That guy a freaking idiot? But I'm just curious. I'm gonna check Wikipedia to see what it says. What Lindy's been up to recently. Oh, she published a book called Through My Eyes in 1990, which that sounds like it'd be an interesting read. Oh, and she also got married again the following year, actually. They still live in Australia. Oh, that's why they're doing the new inquest. It's because new information regarding dingo attacks. Dingo attacks. Crikey, the dingo! The most dangerous canine in Australia! Anyway, my rating for A Cry in the Dark, aka Evil Angel, is 5 out of 5 because I can't really think of anything wrong with it. It has a great score, great direction, great use of camera angles, great acting by our two leads, and also shows a compelling true story. It's a movie that if you guys want to see good acting and see a movie that has some court stuff in it, I say go watch it.